Hey everyone, today I'm at Paul's shop. We're in Ontario, it's outside of Acton. JR is here too, having a fun time. What's your cookie, dude?
He's having a good time. We saw the chickens and donkeys.
Yeah, we've been having a good time so far. If you haven't seen Paul's interview on the Matt and Matthew show, we did that about a little over a year ago.
Wow.
So if you want to learn more about Paul and his background and all that stuff, you can check that out. I'll have a link to that. But today Paul's going to kind of show us around, show us the shop, show us what he's got going on, and that's about it.
JR can't wait.
JR is so excited.
We'll do a little shop walkthrough where I'm actually on the camera this time.
Great.
You can see his face.
Cool. So yeah, this is my wood shop. It's a 50 by 30 building that's out on a farm. And lately I've been doing a lot of tables. I have a sawmill and a kiln, and I specifically modified my sawmill to cut really wide. So I have a lot of wide slabs now. So I kind of make a lot of coffee tables, dining tables. This is some soft maple that I'm doing up for 2 different clients. The bottom one is a giant coffee table, and the top one is a little bit smaller of a coffee table. You know, in the live edge style. So it has wenge butterflies or dovetail keys, whatever you want to call them. And it's got the waterfall grain on this side. So I do a lot of tables. I also sell lumber. I'll be selling more and more lumber, so I'm hoping to have a website up soon that will catalog all the slabs that I have. So I'll be selling them rough and flattened. My shop is kind of constant transformation. Here's 3 bar stools that I have going out to a client. These are the unsculpted version that I do, and I do actually offer templates as well as a how-to manual on building these stools. So you'd have to email me to do that. I don't have an online store set up yet, and the keyword there's yet. But yeah, shoot me an email if you're interested in templates for any of my chair designs actually, and I can give you the info.
And your email address will be?
Is info@canadianwoodworks.com.
We'll leave that in the link below.
Link below, like that. Nice. Cool. I can show you some machinery too that's in the shop. Back here hiding is a 30-inch Wadkin disc sander. This one here is from 1944, built in England. It's a spindle sander as well, although I'm not using that part of it. But big, heavy, very heavy machine, very accurate, nice to use.
Where'd you get it?
I got this from an aluminum foundry in Quebec. I found this on an online auction. I was the only bidder, and it actually cost me more to send it on the truck to me than the actual machine cost. But you know, probably would have been scrapped if I didn't get it, so that's kind of nice. Another machine here, 24-inch jointer planer, which I use just as a jointer, and also got it at an auction. Only bidder at the auction. This one came from Toronto. This one is a Robinson. Very nice heavy-duty tools, which lets me deal with the slabs very efficiently.
So what's the biggest slab you can put on this?
This will do 24-inch, which is basically right out to there.
Do you usually put it to capacity?
I am putting it to capacity constantly. Let's say we have a slab here. You know, that would pretty much pretty dang close, yeah. Where it's nice that I can flatten the one side of this in under a minute, fairly easily too. I set for a lot of people always say, wow, that's a big jointer. It must be hard to pass the boards over it. But really, the cut I'm taking is like a 30-second, maybe max. Like sometimes I take a bit more, but not usually. So I do a very light cut. I keep the blades nice and sharp. Very lucky. This one's a 4-blade cutter head, so it does have actually a very nice finish too. I'm really happy with it. But if I have wider slabs, I have this contraption. This is a kit that you can get. So everything's plywood, and it comes as nuts and bolts and all that. And it's actually a CNC, although I don't have it hooked up to a computer. And currently I can put a slab on here, and I have a carbide insert flattening bit and a 6 horsepower spindle. So I initially had the Porter cable 7518 on here. And as soon as I used it with this size of a bit, this bit's close to 3 inches, the RPM would slow down right away. So I decided to get like a kind of CNC spindle. So 6 horsepower, and basically set the height, and you can pull it across your slab. And then I would move it about half the width of the bit up to the full bit, depending on the situation. And you would just pull it, and you basically just work on it. And literally you can pull it that quickly across the slab, taking up to, about 3/8 of an inch thickness.
And how wide can the board be?
This will do 48 inches wide, And you could have unlimited length, although this is set up to do 8 foot. If I have it longer, I'll do the board and I'll slide it a little bit. And basically, I just put the board on here, find the twist, kind of balance it, and I have a bunch of wedges that I just put under there. Sometimes I hot glue them, and sometimes I screw them down. So it does actually work really well. It's very accurate and leaves a good finish. What else we got over here? We got some more chair parts. These are bar stools that I'm making. This is a back leg and a front leg. These ones are cherry. Here, this kind of makes the stool. There it is right there. So I need some seat and some stretchers. But this is how all the Maloof style furniture starts. You have some templates, which we can see hanging back there. So you generally trace your templates and you start with your parts like this, start doing the joinery. And if you follow all the steps, you'll end up with some nice stools or chairs.
These are your own designs?
So obviously heavily influenced by Sam Maloof. The rocking chair that I build, I initially got the plans from Hal Taylor, and they're really, really geared to his templates basically, and his build, like step by step on how you make the chair. After many years of making them, I've made 70 rocking chairs,
Wow.
which is pretty crazy, right?
In what time frame was that?
6 years.
Wow.
Let alone all the bar stools, the dining chairs and everything. So along the way, obviously I've tweaked it. So I have a package of templates that's just kind of my changes to those templates. And then also Scott Morrison, he's from Montana. The bar stool really is based off of his templates. Again, I dropped the arm, changed some angles, changed some curves. Every woodworker, I guess, just has a little bit of preferences. Even I've seen guys that have bought my templates and right off the bat they change things.
Right.
But they kind of use it as, rather than reinvent the wheel, you get those and work from there. So been a little changes here, but Hal Taylor especially, Scott Morrison, and Sam Maloof are the main inspiration, the main guys. This is a nice walnut slab, just kind of hanging out.
What's your plan for that?
I think it's telling me it wants to be a headboard.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a possibility.
Awesome, yeah.
Also, it could be a really cool coffee table with a waterfall leg.
Oh yeah.
Say you cut it here and you waterfall that short section and do a little on one side. Yeah, I don't know, the sky's the limit.
Is that something you plan to keep for yourself, or would you sell it?
I have learned not to be attached to a piece of wood, so I will graciously sell them. Although, if I didn't have to sell any of them, I would keep them all for myself.
Run out of space pretty quick.
Yeah, you'd run out of space, that's right, as I'm getting engorged with wood right now. So I have a few other tabletops that are going to be ready to get glued up. I cut all my lumber through and through, so I have the full log to choose from, and then that way I can trim and match up the sap line. And keep all the color consistent as well. Especially with walnut, there's such variance in all the wood. Although sometimes having that variance is pretty awesome too. So this will be a dining table, that will be a dining table. They got to get all the edges trimmed, square, use dominoes for the glue up for alignment, and then a whole bunch of clamping, and then the fun work of sanding. Got some other chairs over here. What are we filming him? What's he doing?
Oh, he's
Clamps.
some clamps.
Yes.
I got something to entertain him, Clamps on a big bandsaw table.
Yeah, this is a 32-inch bandsaw. I got this from a gentleman at an auction. Oh, ew, I don't even think he'd be able to crank any of that.
More worried about him touching the blade.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Very cool.
not good. Yeah, it'd be that.
Yeah, he's a rambunctious one.
Is he? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was auction too. So this guy here, I met him. He was at his auction. He was 82 years old. His name was Idal Bonato, and he told me that he worked at the Vatican for 21 years.
Really?
Now keep in mind he was 82, and he said he was semi-retiring. He had a shop in Italy, a shop in Detroit, and a shop in Windsor. He was closing the Windsor shop. He said he still had jobs that were going to take him 4 years and 2 years in Greece and other countries. Yeah, which is pretty amazing. So I feel pretty proud to have this piece of machinery. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
What
It's done.
Yeah, what it's done. That's right. He has a coat hook mounted to the backside, and I made a comment about it. Oh, what's that? Is that to hang a coat at? And he said, no, that's where he would hang his cut list because he had so many pieces to make. That he would stand at the saw for like 2-3 days straight and just be cutting out pieces. So it's been a great saw. I use it for curve work. It has a 3/8 blade on here, which I use for all my chair work, all my curve work. Then I have a Mini Max 20-inch bandsaw. That generally I do all my resawing. I do all my laminations at the bandsaw. So I have a power feeder that I put on there, and it does a really, really good job of the bent laminations. And what I do with the laminations is chairs like this will have a back brace that's bent laminated. And by having nice thin laminations, we can grain match it right across. So these are all from the same piece of wood. Out of about a 3/4 to 1 inch, I can get 8 slices, and the grain stays really close. And then it allows us, this is 4 layers, and then the back side is black and white ebony.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, pretty wild, eh?
I like that.
Yeah, it's such a crazy wood. So this is a relatively new chair that I've made. That's actually the first one I made, and I have an order for one now. I've been commissioned to make one, so I'll be starting on that shortly. This is called another woodworker, actually, Stephen Harris. So I was approached by a client who had 7 of these chairs made in 1975, and they wanted some more made. This woodworker has passed away in 1992. They met me 3 or 4 years ago now. So they gave me one of the original chairs, and this is basically a complete replica of their chairs, although I use the Maloof joint to attach the legs to the seat. It allows all the sculpted nature of the chair, as well as because of all the curved nature of this chair. I feel like the curved corner really suits the chair.
Very comfortable chair. I've sat.
Very comfortable, yeah.
Very comfortable.
It kind of like really hugs you, right?
Yes,
Because of how this comes around. So it seems to be a very simple chair, although it's actually very complicated. The wood kind of goes in all directions. But it's really fun to do. It was a fun job to be able to replicate a chair and make so many of them. I made 10 chairs at one shot.
Wow.
I do a lot of work for other local woodworkers also. This is a table base that I'm making, which will actually be painted white, which is I don't usually do too often.
Yeah, so you're gonna paint, what kind of wood is that?
It's going to go to the finisher. This is white oak. It's like really nice white oak too.
Really clear.
Yeah, super clear, eh? So he gave me the wood, and he gave me basically a piece of paper that told me what to build. I don't know where it went, but anyways, I built it. So it's all dominoed together with the Festool domino, which is pretty sweet.
Not glued up yet?
Not glued up, no.
Okay.
And then these are... Oh! I put a Bessie clamp backwards, and I crank it, and it pulls that right out fairly easily. Yeah, so not glued up yet, and it was kind of a fun little project, though. Yeah, these are all my templates on the wall. So every chair design that I have, generally with these templates in my head, I can make a chair.
Wow.
I need some saw blades in between. Thickness
some
there.
wood?
Yeah, I need some wood. Some wood would be handy.
Just a couple ingredients, and there you go.
Yeah, a couple ingredients. So yeah, that's where all the magic happens. That's always step one of laying the templates down. This is the most incredible spalted wood I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's getting glued up to be a dining table, and it's got all these like the circles in it, eh?
Yeah, look at that.
It's still very stable too, which is nice because that's always a worry when you have spalted. But it's actually very hard because this was a sugar maple,
Yeah.
so it's really hard and heavy. Got some nice curl too, nice figure. But the spalting is, yeah, I can't wait. And so to get these 2 boards, I broke 2 blades and I hit metal 3 times. The rest of the log is still at the land clearing yard.
Oh.
But now that I see how nice it is, I'm going to probably cut the rest of it and yeah, quite. So these are like the 2 outside boards, and these will be a dining table.
So you already sold it to someone, or is it dining table for you?
This is a top that's again getting glued up for another woodworker who sold a table who needed a really really special top. So that's where a lot of the local woodworkers, they know I'm starting to produce these wide boards and very unique types of boards. So I'm getting a lot of business that way, that they kind of know where to call to get some really nice, unique stuff. I know the castings are incredible, eh?
That's not like...
It takes like 4 guys to take this top off.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's a 4-blade cutter head. It works really... We just put new blades in it.
Oh, they're just standing on it.
Oh yeah, I climb on this thing all the time.
Oh, good lord.
So yeah, German made. And the guy brought it over from Germany. So there's like no machinery tags or anything on it,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. And literally like built a building around it. He made windows and doors till about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then I just heard about the auction, went up, and
Those are ginormous.
I was lucky to get it. This one was auctioned too, and this one was from another woodworker that told me about the auction. I didn't even know about it. So that's a Robinson and Sons 24-inch. You use it as a planer too. This would be.
Yeah.
So I just don't have that on there. I was gonna make a panel there that's like clear, so you can like see all that stuff.
That'd be cool.
But none of that moves, so it's like not really an issue. But But yeah, this is a workhorse too. I've never had an issue with it. I rolled it in here. It's a 7 horsepower. It runs on a VFD.
Okay. Yep.
This is a NEMA 4 VFD, so it's like dust doesn't affect it. Water, you could spray that with water, oil. There's no really issue. So you have single phase into it. It makes the 3-phase. It ramps up the speed too, so when I hit it, it like gradually raises.
Yep.
And it breaks this in like 4 seconds. You hit the
Really?
stop button, it's like, wow,
That's nice.
right down.
Forever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a VFD on this thing, and the giant bandsaw. The radial arm is VFD. The planer's VFD. Everything's VFD, really. Disc sander's VFD. That's a 30-inch disc hiding there. Yeah, this thing's super nice too. Super accurate. So easy to adjust the angle. So I do a lot of my chair drawing area on here.
Okay.
So if I have a stretcher that's a compound angle, I can do the compound angle on here pretty easily, and kind of like cut it to fit.
Yeah.
Because most of the chairs are, other than these bar stools are kind of one way, and that's about it. All the other sculpted stuff is like each chair is individual. So there's no like set kind of angle or anything for the stuff. Kind of is, but not really. So these are the unsculpted stools that I do.
Very nice. Paul, thanks for having us out here and check out your shop. This is very surreal for me because I've been following your work for a long time. It's just so weird to be physically here.
Thanks for coming. And what surprised me is that you're Canadian.
Like that?
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? And an American wife, though.
Yes. American baby.
But that's okay. So you came at a good time of year. You knew when to come.
Yeah.
Usually it's a little bit colder here, but today we got the doors wide open. So yeah, it was really awesome to finally meet you. I watch all your videos on the net, and with Instagram, you can't really hide. We see what each other does every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for finally coming through my shop.
I'm
Hopefully
glad
you'll be
you
back.
made me.
Maybe you'll come and build a chair.
I'd love that. That'd be amazing.
Nice.
Of course. So make sure you check out Paul's work. I'll have links to everything that Paul does down in the description. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, his Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Come take a class with him. Check out his your plans for your rockers and your chairs. And soon lumber. And we're going to do another video about the lumber yard here.
Yeah, we're going to go for a walk around
log
the
yard.
log yard. My sawmill's missing in action today, but it's on site, on location. And but we'll check out some logs and some boards.
Sweet. So look for that in the future too, or we'll have a link to that as well. And then see you later.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.